was an indie RPG Maker game released back in 2004, developed by a solo Japanese developer called Kikiyama. The game consisted in exploration through the main character's dreams, as there is no objective in the game. Although there were collectibles that once you got them all, you could finish the game. The gameplay was rather easy, and the design was simple, but yet intriguing. You play as a hikikomori girl whose name is Madatsuki. The mechanics are rather simple too. You go to bed, and within a few seconds, you start exploring Madatsuki's dreams. While dreaming, you will find multiple worlds separated by doors all rounded up in the nexus, which can be accessed by using the only door that leads outside the main room, meaning Madatsuki's room. Each single one of them are unique with their own different themes and atmospheres. They also had deeper connections between them. This game had an unique way to explore the worlds. By that I mean that every single world is infinite in the visual aspect, but in reality it just loops to make you feel like it is infinite by walking endlessly. Although once you explore deeper, these loops becomes more of a maze. There are tons of actions and fun stuff you can do and find by exploring, such as having unsettling or fun interactions with NPCs and hostile NPCs. There are also collectibles called effects. Those effects are found through the whole game, and those not only stand for collectibles, but as usable items as well, which can modify and expand your game experience. You need to collect all of them in order to beat the game. On the other hand, this game is not only exploring and collecting items, but also a journey inside the mind of a traumatized girl. Madatsuki is not the only character in the game. There are also other characters that are important people to Madatsuki's in her dreams, or at least that's what the community believes based on theories on the game's lore. Which is neither confirmed or dismissed from the creator of the game, so it's only speculation and theories we make about this game's lore and story. The dream worlds are not always that beautiful, or something you will see so casually in your own dreams, but these are often more related to nightmares, since they are unsettling and sometimes scary, which is why I say Madatsuki is a traumatized girl, who is also a hikikomori. Just as I said in my previous video, despite this game being 20 years old, its popularity is still relevant to this day. But we're not going to be talking about the original RPG Maker 1 again, but in fact its successor, Yume Nikki, Dream Diary. Yume Nikki Dream Diary is a 3D adaptation of the original Yume Nikki, developed by Kadokawa itself, which is kind of poetic considering the creators of the RPG Maker are also from Kadokawa. It is also referred as a remake, which it isn't wrong. This game is a reboot, staying as faithful in the visual aspect as the original did, and with Kikiyama's permission to change some stuff and add new things. Dream Diary delivers a similar experience as the original did, but being more story-driven and cinematic, making it more linear and limiting the exploration. This game can also be considered as a sequel because of the start of the game. Remember that in the original game, once you got all the effects, then go back to the real world, Madatsuki will jump off her apartment building and, well, you know the rest. as it is implied that she died in the original game, but that's not the case in Dream Diary. Dream Diary starts with Marutsuki leaving a convenience store and going back to her apartment. She then notices someone falling off the building, and that is where she wakes up. This is just a theory, but perhaps this explains that Marutsuki never died, and that she was just within another dream, which would make sense. Or at least that's what I like to think. Despite the original game not having an actual story and leaving its message up to the players, Dream Diary takes a different approach, focusing more on the history. Let's take a look what Dream Diary has to offer. First is the graphics. They're not bad for an indie game, and this game is available on Switch as well. But the art style does seem to capture the original feeling quite well. The concept is the same, although the delivery is limited. They make use of a fixed camera angle, which reminds me of the Silent Hill games. And this is not the only thing it has in common with Silent Hill, but the atmosphere in some places actually feels like Silent Hill, including the soundtrack. When it comes to exploration and collectibles, they are also limited. The original Yume Nikki had 12 main worlds and 31 deeper locations, which in Dream Diary, only 6 of them are included with a handful of deeper locations. The major difference is exploration. While the original is vastly open, in Dream Diary there are more closed areas with little exploration and one path depending on each location. Looping is also limited to just 1 or 2 worlds such as the Snow Valley. Another highlight is that you no longer need to collect all the effects in order to beat the game. In fact, you have to beat the 6 worlds instead so you can unlock a 7th door, which leads you to complete the game. Effects are way restricted in Dream Diary too, well including 7 out of 25 effects, but the game includes actual collectibles to fulfill that void. You can collect concept art as well. Despite not having that many effects as the original did, they try to implement other cool stuff such as minigames. You can even get an Ao-Oni reference and get to play a special version of it, which is also another classic RPG Maker game. In the gameplay aspect, it's much more focused on platforming, and while I told you the effects are so limited and that you don't need them at all to beat the game, that doesn't mean they're less fun or useless, as most of them are included to beat the game. They are also required if you want to get the 100% of the game. Dream Diary adds more depth to characters that were already present. It also includes cutscenes and making it feel more like an actual story, unlike the original, which is kinda cool in my opinion. It adds a bit more of horror. One example is a street wall, where you are being chased by an unknown entity, or when you encounter Uboa for the first time. It is actually scarier than the original Uboa. You might feel like this game misses so much of the original, and trust me, it does. But that doesn't mean that they forgot about everything else. Some stuff are still included, although hidden. The best example can be found in the Mall World, where you can find the black cat in the rooftop and listen to the witch theme of the original game. You also find another game cartridge which lets you play a bullet hell minigame as Witch Marutsuki. As of the ending, like I said before, you must beat the 6 wars. Then the locked door will be open for you to enter and witness the final stage. At first, it all seems normal, as the war starts in Marutsuki's room. But when you open the door, instead of leading to the netsuits, it actually leads outside of her apartment. It feels and looks creepy because of lights blinking in and out. But once you take the elevator, that's when the real nightmare starts. You are now being chased by someone or something. You don't know what it is. You just know you have to run away. Just like in the street world. But this time is something bigger. The world begins to tear apart. Heavy storms, things flying around. But no matter how wrecked the streets may be, you keep moving forward to safety. Because of the fear of letting that thing catch you. The fear of dying. You must keep going. Until you finally wake up. The birds are chirping. The sun is up. You no longer feel danger, neither the need to stay shut in. You feel something different. That something somehow has changed inside you. This is the moment when you decide to finally open the door you've been neglecting and refusing to open for a long time. That is the moment. The moment you escape your fears. Even if you didn't face them directly, you came in terms with yourself, accepting them, taking the first step towards a new change. Even if you are still afraid of your fears. So one day you might actually overcome them.